Hey guys, today I'm reacting to how America's hottest city is trying to cool down. Let's get into it, should be pretty interesting. I would guess the city is probably like one of the cities in Arizona, maybe? Maybe Southern California? Like Phoenix or Tucson, maybe? Something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure, but let's see what happens.
I'm looking at a map of surface temperatures in the Phoenix metro area.
Okay,
so this is in Arizona
Phoenix,
in the southwest US. And it shows how hot the ground is in June. And this is a map of child poverty rates. Darker blue means more poverty. So this is heat, and this is poverty. Heat, poverty. Heat, poverty. The correlation is pretty obvious. This is where it becomes clear that climate change and wealth inequality are not really separate issues. And you can probably find examples of that wherever you go in the world. But for this story...
And Arizona and Phoenix are famously super car-centric and super spread out. It's way too dependent on the car, and it's not walkable enough in Phoenix, Arizona. So all these cars, right? They produce so much pollution and smog, which makes the area even hotter. Pretty much. And it's so spread out that the energy has to travel even further, which produces a lot of energy waste, which makes the area hotter as well. So if you had a more dense area that was more walkable, the area would also be cooler. Unfortunately, it's not though. It's very spread out. And suburban, it's going to be not the best.
Story, I went there.
An excessive heat warning is in effect.
Warmer is the new normal in Phoenix.
The city grappling with an increase in heat-related deaths.
Phoenix last year hitting 100 degrees or higher for more than 144 days.
At least electric cars would help a bit as well, but public transportation, more walkable areas, more bike lanes, that would help as well. And more shade as well, more shade trees. You can have walkable areas even in hot places. You know, build it well. Build like underground areas, build like protected areas where you can walk through. You know, air-conditioned public transportation, etc., etc.
Climate change is one factor causing rising temperatures. Urban development is the other.
Yeah, urban development. Yeah, absolutely. You should not build this type of shit housing. Build more dense housing. Row houses, townhouses, multi-use development, apartments, etc. Not just single-family houses. The housing market in the U.S. is way too regulated. It really is. There's too many laws around it. The zoning laws suck as well. We need to unregulate the housing market.
The forecasted high that day was 112 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 44 degrees Celsius. But in reality, some areas can feel warmer or cooler than that. So here I am in a neighborhood with some of the hottest surface temperatures. But when I drove 8 miles north of there, I was in one of the coolest parts of Phoenix.
Lots of trees and green, yeah, that helps. But still, it is way too spread out even here.
And it was in the hot neighborhood where I met up with Eva Olivas. She's a local community advocate and a Phoenix native. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where the hell is the sidewalk? Is this supposed to be a sidewalk over here? Honestly, they need more sidewalks and more walkable areas. What the hell are they doing?
Can you tell me a little bit about this neighborhood and who lives here?
So the community of Central City South is located just south of the downtown business district. The average income level for a family of four is about $19,000. The vehicle ownership rate is between 23-28% of the population.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very low. So they're very dependent on public transport.
Still seems like a lot of cars though. But she said they're very dependent on public transportation. Doesn't seem like they have access to public transportation in this area, to be honest. There's no sidewalks. There's no bike lanes. Doesn't seem like you have a train nearby. Honestly, it seems kind of shitty in this area.
Transportation.
This zip code has the highest rate of heat-related illnesses in the city. What makes people here vulnerable to extreme heat?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. We have the freeway. We have the railroad tracks on the north. We have the airport on the east. So we're like a little pocket.
A lot of pavement.
A lot of concrete.
A lot of pavement. Pavement makes it harder, yeah.
A lot of industry here. A lot of our streets, as you can see, don't have sidewalks. You're having to walk in the street, like we are. And there's not a lot of shade. If you can look around, you don't see a lot of trees.
This is the Sonoran Desert, so of course the summers are hot. But It also seems
you literally live in the desert too. So
like this entire city was almost designed to capture heat. The streets are so wide. This isn't a highway, this is just the Phoenix grid. And the buildings are so flat and set back from the sidewalk, so they don't create much shade at all. And then there's the
Stupid as
parking
hell.
lots. I read one estimate that there are more than 4 parking spots for every car in Phoenix. The sun just
Way too
beams into all
concentric.
that pavement, and it doesn't just roast anyone who happens to be walking across it, it's also transferring heat to the air day and night. Wow, I really did that poorly. Also, I promise this is not a Chevy ad, I just borrowed my dad's car. So, what do you do to try to mitigate heat in a city like this? Well, reflective roofs can help a bit. The thermal image shows the surface temperature of the dark roof is hotter than the white ones, and the city has also tried painting some roads with a more reflective coating. But if you compare the hottest and coolest neighborhoods, it's pretty clear that the big difference between them isn't the black or white surfaces. It's the green ones.
But should Arizona necessarily even have green? It's probably just a lot of water in the first place. That's not even necessary. At least no golf carts, but I guess it's better than having a golf cart, right?
Plants are the variable that connects this map
And hopefully more native plants.
of heat to this map of poverty. And studies have confirmed that the cooling effect of cool roofs and cool pavements, it's smaller than the cooling effect of trees.
One of the best ways to beat the urban heat.
The more trees you plant, the more benefits.
Cleansing for the air.
Reduce carbon footprint,
Lower levels of stress,
decrease energy costs.
stormwater management.
It's a very important engine of cooling.
If you take an area that's just parking lots and buildings and cover at least a quarter of the space with trees, you can lower air temperatures there by around 8 degrees Fahrenheit or 4.4
Damn.
degrees Celsius. That's according to a study from Arizona State University. For those who are used to humid summers, it can be hard to understand just how much relief shade provides in a dry heat. You can easily see the temperature difference on my arms and on the concrete there. So the city of Phoenix has committed funds to planting more trees. They want all neighborhoods to reach a minimal level of canopy cover by 2030. And I love the idea of recruiting an army of trees to
Make the area more dense as well. Stop having it be so spread out, honestly. Allow shops to be built next to houses. So you don't have to travel as far to get what you want.
protect the vulnerable from extreme heat. But there's a problem. Outside of parks and along major streets, the urban forest currently depends not on public resources, but on private ones.
What would it take for a street like this one to become one of those shady tree-lined streets that they have uptown?
Well, any tree that's planted in this neighborhood in front of someone's home, they would have to maintain. The city does not maintain them in front
Too much private land, you need more public land.
of these residential areas.
I see, okay. So there are some utility companies here
residential.
that will give you a couple of free trees if you agree to plant them on the west side or the south side of your home, because eventually that can end up saving something like 30% on your air conditioning bill. But it sounds like that doesn't really solve the maintenance issue.
Correct, because there's that trade-off between shade or increased water bill. But it's the cost of maintaining the trees that is challenging, obviously in a very low-income neighborhood like ours, and it's not a priority for them in their family, in their home.
Right. Are there no programs that are actually going to take on the watering cost?
Zero. That is the responsibility of the homeowner. And you have to remember, what did I say? These are mostly renters.
I walked with Eva along Buckeye Road, where there's a big triangular lot. It's owned by the city and has been left unplanted. She said that would probably change with the city's new tree equity plans, but she also hoped for some more basic things, like sidewalks and shade shelters for all the bus stops. It was a reminder that wealth already affects access to
Build the widest sidewalks and put trees on the side of the sidewalk so it protects people walking.
infrastructure.
Maybe some more covered sidewalks.
Even
as
infrastructure
well.
that doesn't have to be
Sidewalks with roofs. Might it be helpful as well for people walking?
watered and pruned. And that's what will have to change if cities like Phoenix want to make sure that the heaviest burdens of climate warming don't fall on those who are least prepared to withstand them.
Yeah, interesting video. If you enjoyed my reaction, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's check out some of the comments down below. I lived in Phoenix nearly my whole life. When I bought my own house a few years, I decided to plant several trees in what little yard I had in order to lower temperatures. The result is my yard is literally several degrees cooler. Plus, since you can grow tropical and temperate plants in Phoenix, I grow my own peaches, mangoes, guavas, barbados, cherries, pomegranates, almonds, grapes, and bananas. I hate not being able to walk my dog till after the sun sets here in Phoenix. Damn. This is the best Fox video in a while. Amazing work. There's also that whole water problem that they have that caused problems too. Phoenix and most of the West and North Phoenix area are dependent on Lake Mead. I'm sure Fox did a whole spread on that issue recently too. There are ways to bring man-made shade into areas, though, that require little maintenance. Trees are also low maintenance, and desert Florida doesn't actually require much water. It's the lawns that do. Yeah, you don't need these fucking lawns, honestly. If this was interesting, check out Not Just Bikes or Echo Gecko's playlist about suburbia. Both are incredibly informative. Thank you for releasing videos like this. Yeah. Suburbia, honestly, yeah, we have way too much suburban sprawl, especially in Phoenix. Really bad for the people and environment and just the local situation. Suburbia is bad, man. Echo Gecko slaps. That's cap. Rich people want their children to play outside without having to take them because they have work to do. How is a kid going to cycle/walk through a city where there are no cycle lanes or sidewalks? Well, there should be, yeah. And there's public parks, there should be. If you watch channels like Not Just Bikes, you'll learn that elevated status and priority given to cars is kind of the main underlying problem. People want to drive everywhere because it's comfortable, it's door to door, because why won't you drive everywhere if you can afford it easily? This has resulted in ultra-wide roads, making them unwalkable, supermarkets situated 10 miles away from homes, making a car necessary, and lack of public transportation, and lack of sidewalks. Yeah. This is kind of accurate, honestly. Pretty sure trees provide cooling effect through transpiration, but another idea is provide some canopy to the parking lots with solar panels. Create some electricity and shade of the asphalt too. Yeah. This was interesting. If you enjoyed my reaction, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.